guys, I'm Ryan Houston and welcome to my fly tying channel. The channel contains hundreds of different videos catering from beginners right through to the more advanced tyers and covering flies and patterns from all around the world. If you like what you see, stick around until the end of the video where generally you'll find the pattern description, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Let's get on with the show. Hi guys, so we're going to tie tonight is it's a Mayfly Humpy, so it's a yellow Humpy. Humpies are probably not the first fly you think of when it comes to mayflies, but I suppose in a way they're kind of wolf-like. So this is a B170 in a size 10. So you're probably going to be tying this in 10s or 8s. I'm using a black thread, so this is Textreme standard 6.0 black. And because the Humpy style of fly has elk hair, or you could use deer hair, I suppose, just a little bit more awkward, I tend to varnish the shank when I do that, because I find that deer hairs can rust shanks. I don't know how it does it, but that's why I try to protect them with some varnish. So what I'm going to use here is elk. So this sort of natural elk coloured stuff here. So we take a bunch, fairly good thick bunch, and then I'm going to grab it about 50% along its way, and then we get rid of the very short fibres out of that, and then I'm going to blow it because you can see there's an under fur in it which would aid the fly sinking. So I'll separate that out, and then you also notice that there are different lengths of fibres within it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out these longer sections here, and we're going to use that for the tail and the back. And this other section here then is what's going to make the wing. So what I'm going to do with it is put that into a hair stacker. Tamp it down, and that will mean that the ends are aligned. So I'll swap that round in my hand so that it's pointing forwards. And I'm going to take my tying thread up to the front here, and I'm going to put on a wing that is about the length of the shank. So we'll tighten down onto that, and then I'm going to bind that down tight and create a platform here that's going to take our hackle, and I'll get underneath that and cut it off. Put a little bit of varnish into that, and then step that down with our tying thread. Take the thread to the back, and then we're going to use this short stuff here as the tail and the back. So if you want it to be more humpy, you're going to need more fibres in this, but because I'm aiming for a mayfly, I'm not going as humpy shaped, shall we say. So I'm also going to leave these tails maybe slightly longer. Tie that in, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold that back on itself there and tie it over. So the body on this fly, I'm going to use yellow floss. So I'm going to take a length of yellow rayon. It's quite a, well, I suppose we've got a couple of foot here just to work with, but I'm going to put that around its middle on my tie-in thread, and that allows me to slide it down onto the shank there and bend it in place. And then I'm going to wrap this backwards and forwards until I build up a nice body with it. So the double strands, as you can see, helps me to build thickness quicker, and I think that it's also because one is wrapping behind the other kind of overlays the previous wrap, and therefore we end up with a smoother finish to it. So once we get to the front here, we're just going to tie that off and trim it, and then we'll take this stuff that we'd laid over from the back, take it forward, tie that down, and then tie back, and then trim off. So that is the body of the fly. So now we're going to add hackles. So we're going to put 2 hackles in this, and one is going to be a red game and one is going to be a grizzle. What I'm going to do is to strip off a little portion, roughly equivalent to the length of this black portion of thread here, and then I'm going to tie those in pointing forwards and tie them up tight to the back of our wing. I'm going to put on a couple of turns of the 2 or 3 turns, say, of the grizzle, and tie that in, and then the red game is going to be the predominant hackle, so there's going to be more turns of it, maybe double the amount of turns of it. When I get to the rear, tie across it, and then what I'll do is I'll wiggle my thread as I wrap the thread forward through those hackles, in which case it's laying across all of the stalks as it goes. Now you can either trim those off or snap them off. And when I'm at the back of the wing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about half the wing bunch and pull it back, and then I'll take a thread wrap in there. You can see it's sort of tightening down onto the front ones, and then I'll pull all back and take my tie-in thread to the front of it and create a little bit of a head, and then finish off. You can see I'd like to finish 2 or 3 times, so it's separate knots in case one gives. And then to finish it off, I'm going to use super glue. Use varnish if you want. I'm going to use super glue on a needle. Just pull all back and just a little run there. And that is our yellow Mayfly Humpy. Hopefully you liked the video. If you did, give us a like, subscribe, check out all the other videos on the channel, tell your friends, and until next time, tight lines, and thanks for watching.